done quite a lot of racing, and I think it's about the first time that he's been in this Pro Clubman event. So there's a shot of Robbie there now, Carly Cart with his dad leading over, giving some final instructions there. And I think Robbie would be almost a firm favourite for this, but as I say, it's never over until the fat lady sings, really.
Interesting to note the towns that are represented in the country areas. You have places like Bendigo and Mildura, Gippsland Club and Ballarat Club here. So certainly this is a statewide contest, the Pro Clubman 135 kilo class. First prize, a big trophy and $200 cash, and the boys will certainly be working hard to take this one out.
John, you were mentioning the support of one of the competitors' fathers. I think one of the nice things I see there is the amount of support being received by a lot of guys I used to race against. Ken Hastings and Graham Ritter and Peter Lana, Peter Macro. I ran into Peter Richards last night, who happened to be part of my 1980 Bathurst team. Now, all those fellas are there now and supporting their sons and daughters in karting. I think that adds to that terrific family spirit that the sport seems to generate.
It certainly does, Brian. It's absolutely amazed me that I did a little stint in rallying, and we got out of that and got into what we thought was the less expensive sport of kart racing, and we found that the relationships there with the whole families and everything like that was absolutely brilliant. And it's good to see a lot of these, we'll say, gentlemen who are moving along in years still staying within the motorsport.
Well, I think you better get yourself a veteran class going in karting, and I might have to get involved in that. This situation we see right now is quite interesting for our viewers, the way the karts have to group up, and until they're actually in grid order and they meet the satisfaction of the starter, they'll just have to keep lapping like that. And one of the things I noticed in the celebrity race was the amount of smoke that you have to inhale while the grid is grouping up. I guess there's a bit of an art to that too, to make sure that you're in a situation where the starter is happy with, obviously things aren't happy here. Looks like they're coming off again. But until the starter is absolutely happy that they're in grid order, they will not get that Australian national flag to start. And there we have it now.
Well, they're away, and by gee, Robbie Chamberlain got the lead there from Phil Smith. Now, Phil Smith is from the Ballarat Club. And as I said, Robbie Chamberlain from Mildura, and they've come from all over the place to race in this one today. And I think Grant Lindstrom seems to be in third spot there with the Pro Tune, kart number 21. That's Cameron Prince, I should say, yes, with the black helmet, comes from the same organisation. And I'd keep my eye on Cameron too. He's one of those lads that have really come up through the ranks, and a very, very forceful driver. As the kart's really lifting up over a little bit of a bump there. But Robbie Chamberlain getting the back of the kart out and a quick look over his shoulder, and he's opened up about 4 or 5 kart lengths, Brian, and it looks like he's going to storm away.
Yes, he's really showing them the way at the moment. John, do you see anyone coming along in karting ranks at the present time who could really make a big impact in motorsport of a different sort, moving up, say, into Formula 2 cars or Formula 3 or something like that?
Yes, I have. As a matter of fact, well, we've got a couple of them who've made a move now. As young Eric Van Berkel from down in Williamstown, he's running a Formula Ford at the moment and finished 7th at his last outing down at Sandown. And Eric started off, as a matter of fact, he drove Katrina's old Yamaha kart for his first drive into the motorsports arena, and since then he's gone through the Clubman ranks and has been very, very successful in kart racing and has taken that big step up.
Well, kart number 2 is really stepping away from this field too, and has really opened up quite a good lead at this stage, John.
Yes, Robert Chamberlain has was one of our most successful juniors, and was a very, very fast driver in the junior international classes.
It's been a bit of a tangle a bit further back in the field. About 4th or 5th have had it coming together, and looks like the flag might come out to slow them down next time around.
Yes.
Just caught that on the camera shot as a couple of the karts went a bit sideways and got crossed up. And one of the good things about karting, I guess, is the way they can get these karts out of danger's way so promptly, and the races can continue.
very precise pieces of machinery, particularly with the very, very direct steering on them, things like that. And of course, you just have to put your foot on the brake just that little bit harder, and you stop.
He's gone out very wide there, cart number 2, but he's still maintaining a very handsome lead at this stage, and he's glancing back every now and again to see what sort of a break he has over the rest of the field. But quite a good dice going on for second and third at this stage.
Yes, I think Robbie would be feeling quite comfortable out there, because somebody's got to pull out something really desperate to be able to pick him up now. He's got that cart moving very nicely.
That's one of the things about karting. Once you get a break like that, it's almost impossible to get back onto the pace, isn't it? Because the carts are so even, and the engine capacity is... There's his right foot working overtime. Look, it's on the go pedal. But the engine capacities are also small. They haven't got a great deal of torque, and as I say, once a kart gets a break like that, it's very, very hard for the others to peg him back.
Yes, the other two that are some distance back behind him now are having a dice amongst themselves, and as you know, in all motorsport, you start having a bit of a dice, you gradually
yeah, they'll be slowing themselves up, won't they?
Coming through there, I think I saw Melinda Price back in this one. She's relief driver for Drew Price. Drew decided that he wasn't going to race in this one, and we hope Melinda can keep this one together this time round, as she had a bit of an off in the ladies' race, but apparently no harm done, because I noticed her in the background down.
Well, I think that's a great thing, and any incident like that in motorsport, if you can get yourself straight back in the driver's seat, provided you're not injured, of course, but if you've had a bit of an excursion and headed off and done a bit of agricultural work, it's important to get straight back into the driver's seat and get the confidence back, and don't sit around and worry about it and think about, well, what went wrong, or what I should have done, or something like that. I think that's a good policy in motorsport.
Yes, you don't really need time to think about these sort of things. Just to get back and do it again, I agree.
This is a huge lead, John, that's opening up now. A few more extra horsepower there somewhere along the line, I think.
Yes, well, he's got a very well-prepared engine, and I think his dad works on his engines quite a bit, and Robbie's got a very, very good driving style, and he's matured a lot. He doesn't throw the cart around like he used to when he was running in the junior international classes, and because those boys were full of exuberance in those days, and now I think they're looking for the right lines and smoothness.
Well, to me, that would be the real art of karting, to get the cart around through those corners as smoothly as you possibly can, because obviously if you're overworking the wheel, if you're jumping on and off the brakes, if you're throttling on and off, it's going to be slowing you down and being you know, quite against what you're trying to achieve. And as you say, this is an example of very smooth driving, and that to me is the whole art of it.
Yes, well, certainly the smoother driving, it allows you to pick up quite a lot of time around the circuit, and half a second here and there certainly is a long time in karting, and it allows you to sort of get out there and not have any pressure put on you. And you can see with the smoothness of the driving, a lot of these fellas have been driving for a long time, helps them a lot. But then the newer ones into the sport sort of throw their carts around a little bit untidy, and they wonder why they're dropping back through the field.
Well, as you say, that's the way you learn, and our winner in this event has come up through those sorts of ranks, having said that he was a fairly desperate sort of a driver, and I don't think you could see an exhibition of smoother driving than we've just witnessed then.
Yes, a very, very good drive by Robert, and he'll be very, very happy about this one, because I haven't seen Robert for a few months, and I would say it's probably his first win in a matter of months too.
John, it's interesting to note Robbie Chamberlain, the only driver representing the Mildura club in that race. How strong is go-kart racing in Mildura at the present time?
Well, it's building up in Mildura, and Robbie has been a member up there since he was a little boy. And the club has built up considerably, and it's going from strength to strength.
Right, that's the Pro Clubman class taken out by Mildura's Robbie Chamberlain. We'll have more from the Bendigo Go-Kart Grand Prix right after this break.